Hello, my name is Dana. I am going to be guiding us through a gentle yet powerful yoga practice in which our focus will be on the chakra system. So the chakras are what connect us to that subtle body, to a vibration of subtle life force energy. In yoga, we refer to this as prana. And so through our yoga practice, we're working to strengthen that pranic energy. And when we are letting that free flow of vibrational life force energy move through us, we feel more balanced, more harmonious, clearer purpose, clearer focus. When we're working with the chakras, even though we're working with the subtle body, it also helps to strengthen our vital tissues and organs in our body and keep, again, this sense of vibrancy and health moving through us. The chakras that we're going to focus on there's 7 main ones that run from the base of the spine through to the crown of the head. Chakra literally kind of translates as wheel or disc. So it's a wheel or disc of energy that we want to have a kind of healthy flow of that energy. So the purpose of our practice today is to kind of connect to these different chakra centers, to move our body, to deepen our breath, and to connect to the vibration of sound to help us kind of open those channels, release any blockages, and hopefully bring us into a greater state, like I said, of balance and harmony, not just physically, but also emotional, mental, body, mind, and spirit. So like I said, our physical practice is how we connect to the chakras, but a really powerful way to access the chakras is through sound vibration. So the beautiful healing power of our own voice. Each chakra that we are going to be focusing on has what we refer to as its seed sound, or we call it a bija mantra. So it has a certain vibration. And when we chant or say that sound, again, it kind of brings that vibration of energy to that center and helps to create, again, balance and harmony, is what we're seeking in our practice. So I know many of us might feel intimidated by our voice. A lot of people feel like we don't technically have a good voice, but it's definitely not about that. And I find that when we kind of drop into our breath, when we quiet our mind, when we're really listening, we all can come into that beautiful tone. So we're all probably in the comfort of our own home. So hopefully you have a space which you won't be interrupted. And if you have yoga blocks, these are really great to have. You don't need them, but could be of assistance. I'm also sitting on a yoga blanket. You can use pillows or towels or anything like that. It is sometimes nice to elevate your seat. Just to, again, that brings your body into better alignment, gives you a natural curve in the low back, and helps you sit with a little bit more ease. The first part of our practice, you can also be sitting in a chair with your feet on the ground. So if that feels a little bit more stable for you and better for your body, then please do that. And, as we move through the practice, please just listen to your body. Don't force anything if it doesn't feel right. If you need to just come back and sit and breathe, then please do. And, modify when you need and rest when you need. All right. So that being said, we will get started. So coming to a comfortable seated posture, whether that's on the ground, a block, a pillow, or a chair. And then you can rest your palms face down comfortably on your thighs or your knees. And if it's comfortable for you, close your eyes or just soften your gaze downwards. We just want to start to draw our energy from external, especially looking at the computer screen can be a lot for our eyes. So just soften and tune into the sound of my voice. And whichever seat you've chosen, just take a moment to make any subtle shifts. You want to feel the connection to the sitting bones, nice and rooted into the ground beneath you. And then sort of feel how the rest of your body can just gently fall into place. So our head is in line with the heart, chin is level to the ground, our shoulders nice and settled and aligned up over our hips. We have that tall spine. So the chakras run, the 7 main chakras run from the base of the spine through to the crown of the head. So when we work with our physical yoga practice, we are wanting to find that flexibility and mobility in the spine and the back so we can sit tall. And this is the first step to that alignment. So from here, relaxing your eyes, your forehead, relaxing your jaw, relaxing your shoulders, letting the belly be soft as you feel this rooting down through the sitting bones and letting any tension go from the legs, the weight of the thigh bones anchoring you to your seat, allowing you feel connected and just, setting that intention to be as fully present as you can, welcoming your body with love to your practice. And we are here in our physical body. We always have our breath with us, but in our yoga practice, we can bring more conscious awareness to our breathing. Keeping the mouth just very gently closed, you'll observe the flow of breath coming in through the nose and streaming out through the nose. Allowing the inhalation to begin in the belly and just creating this nice sense of fullness, expansion as you breathe in. The belly filling, and as you breathe out, feeling the navel just gently draw back and up toward the spine. Just kind of cultivating a gentle rhythm to your breath. No need to force it, but just with awareness on the breath, seeing how you can create perhaps a rhythm, balancing out your inhalations with your exhalations. And drawing that awareness to the breath will hopefully help our mind begin to settle and bring us into our body and into our practice. Welcoming all parts of our being to our mat, gathering all the scattered threads of our consciousness to this present moment. And so I like to begin each practice with the sound of Om, which you might be familiar with if you practice yoga. And the sound of Om is actually connects us to that third eye chakra, which I will talk more about as we move through our practice. So you're already, if you've been chanting Om in your practice, familiar with that vibration of sound. So if you feel at ease to join me, please do. I usually ask to bring your palms to what we call Anjali Mudra. It's kind of like a prayer gesture right at the center of the heart, our heart chakra, Anahata, calling in a balance of the left and right hemisphere of the brain. And again, just bringing us into our practice. So we'll just do one sound of Om. Let's just start with a nice full breath in. And if you'd like, you can just open the mouth and let it go. And then breathing in. Good, and just setting an intention for yourself that you are open to receive your practice today, taking what serves you and letting go of that which does not. Good, and you can let your hands release down. If you'd like to float your eyes open, please do. So we're just going to stay seated for a bit, and we're going to just start with very simple sound vibration. Very simple practice to calm our nervous system, bring us into our body. So I'm going to guide us to place our hands to different parts of our body, and these are the different kind of chakra areas. And we are just going to create this sound. It's what we refer to as the Brahmari breath or the bee breath. So it's just a gentle, like kind of humming or buzzing. You breathe in, and as you breathe out, it just is and you might even feel a little vibration in the mouth. So this is just a great way to kind of come into contact with your voice, the feel of that vibration. And then as we move through the practice, we'll connect to a little bit more of each particular bija mantra, as I was mentioning. So we're in a seated posture. If you want, you take your palms, your hands right to the kind of the hips here, the hip points, right where the tops of the thighs meet the pelvis there. And this is kind of a connection to the root chakra, which connects down through the legs, down through our seat, giving us a sense of groundedness. So just placing your hands gently here. You can close your eyes again or soften the gaze. And we're just going to do 3 breaths. With each exhalation, you're going to connect to that buzzing vibration. So when you're ready, we breathe in. Good, and then you can just take one palm to your belly right below your navel and just rest the other hand right on top. That's connecting us close to our second chakra. Breathing in. One more breath in. Good, and then you can move your palms up right above the navel, the solar plexus area here, kind of right between the bottom of the ribs here, and take one hand and then the other hand on top, breathing in. One more breath. And so not only experiencing the healing power of our own sound, but the healing power of our own touch with our hands here. Now moving your hands up right to the center of the chest, the heart chakra center, one hand on top of the other, breathing in. One more breath. Good. And then moving our hands up to the throat chakra center. So this is obviously a very delicate area of the body. I usually take one hand to the, one side of the neck, the other hand kind of wrapping around so my fingers kind of touch the back of the neck. And then the heel part of my palm, my hands are kind of coming together at the throat. Breathing in. And then placing one hand right up to the forehead here, the third eye center, and the other hand right at the base of the skull there. And gently placing the palms there, breathing in. Good. And then that seventh chakra is the crown chakra, which really doesn't have a sound, but if you'd like, you can just place your palms gently to the very top of the head. This is sort of the silent resonance of the practice. But for now, we will just play with that B breath sound here as well. So breathing in. Good. And then you can just gently float your arms down. Okay. All right. So hopefully you're already feeling a little buzz of that energy, of that vibration, just from that simple movement of sound. So we'll start to move our physical body a bit more, and then we'll link breath and sound vibration and movement together. So staying seated, we're just going to do what we refer to these as these pelvic tilts. And you can kind of get the pelvis, we definitely want to get the movement of the pelvis going first. So I'm just rolling to the front of the sitting bones. I feel this sort of arching in the low back. back, and then rolling to the back of the sitting bones, kind of tucking that tail. So kind of similar to our cat-cow movements. Those of you that practice yoga might be familiar with those, which we will also explore. And then, as we want to make sure we have the movement in the pelvis, and then you can invite in the rest of the back and the spine. So as you can see, I'm kind of opening up as I roll forward, opening up the chest, maybe even lifting up to open up a bit through the throat, and then exhale, kind of this rounding cat arch, dropping the chin and feel that tuck of the tailbone and this C curve arch of the spine. And then just kind of finding this movement here, rolling forward and back, linking it with your breath and your movement here. So we inhale to open up, really fill the lungs, collarbones, throat, and then exhale, empty it out, draw that navel back and up towards the spine, letting the chin drop to the chest. And we'll just take a couple more rounds like this. Good. And then just to kind of open it up, we'll move more into these circles with the spine. So I'm rolling over to the right and then getting this kind of almost like a figure 8 circular movement. So we're getting into the side body a little. So I'll go a couple times in one direction, going forward and then over to one sitting bone and then around to the back and over to the other side. And then from there, you'll take it in the opposite direction, just kind of rolling through, creating these nice big circles. And again, just to get that movement going through the back, opening up those muscles, and again, getting that flexibility and mobility of the spine. Good. And then from there, we'll just settle ourselves back in to a nice neutral spine, coming to center here. And then we're going to stay seated just for a bit longer here. I'm going to toss my sweater off to the side. We're going to take a twist. So we're going to inhale, stretching our arms up here. Feel that anchoring and rooting down through your sitting bones as you stretch up through the fingers. Nice big breath. And then we're just going to twist to the right. So I'm going to take my right arm behind me and my left hand is going to come. You can either take it to the inner left knee or for a deeper twist, cross it over to the right. We want to stay anchored through the sitting bones and feel the twist more from the navel up. Continue to breathe in to keep that length. Breathe out to feel that twist. Maybe even your head and neck begin to look and gaze over that right shoulder. One more breath. Good. And then we're going to slowly unravel back to center. You can take your arms back up, finding that again, rooting down through the seat, reaching up through the fingers, finding that space, that breath. And when you're ready, we twist to the opposite side. And again, the breath is going to guide us into the poses deeper. So staying connected to the rhythm of your breath. And taking one more nice round of breath here. Good. And then once again, we're going to draw ourselves back through center. We're going to sweep those arms up, take a nice big breath here. And then again, just to get into the side body, getting that stretch there, we're going to take the left fingertips down and we're going to stretch up and over to the left. I'm anchoring into that right hip, right sitting bone. I'm not collapsing in the left shoulder. You want to roll that shoulder away from the ear. And breathe here. And just to kind of get movement in the head and neck, we can gaze down towards the left hand. Feel that nice stretch there. Remember to breathe into the side body, intercostal muscles opening with each breath. And then you can gaze up underneath that right armpit here. Draw that navel in as you exhale. Find your center to help lift you back up as you breathe in. And then we'll take that side bend over to the other side. And again, anchoring to the left, relaxing the shoulders, breathing deep. Maybe you look down towards the right hand. Relaxing your jaw, looking up under the left arm. Take another breath here. And then coming back up one last time, big breath in. And then just sweep the arms out and down, resting them by your side or on your lap. All right, so from here, we're going to find our way up to a standing posture, and we're going to move through some of our practice from there. So we're going to be maybe lowering a knee down, so you might find it helpful to have a blanket or something that you can place your knee on if you have sensitive knees. So we're going to stand at the top of our mat in what we refer to as mountain pose, Tadasana. So I'm going to face the camera for now, and I will turn eventually, but you can be, again, wherever you're comfortable. So coming into mountain pose, you want to have your legs right underneath the hips, the inner hips, toes and knees pointing forward. We don't want to lock the knees. We want to feel the strength of the legs. You can lift all 10 toes, spreading through the toes, feeling the big toe ball mound, little toe ball mound, and heel anchoring you down, and then lower those toes down, maybe one at a time, really kind of getting the full surface of your feet. So this pose is just a beautiful pose to come into and find this perfect alignment, feeling balance through both sides of the body, but also a great way to connect to that root chakra. So the root chakra is the earth element, and its purpose is for grounded rootedness, a feeling of connection, a right to be here. So when we're standing well, we're standing in that power. So you can feel that energy kind of rooting you down and also giving you this strength to stand well. So taking just a couple breaths here, feeling again that sort of power of the mountain pose. And we will practice with the sound vibration of the root chakra, which is Lam. So again, we're just playing with the sound, and you can notice where you feel the vibration. And again, maybe even thinking about that vibration rooting down as you chant the sound Lam. And we'll do it 3 times. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Breathing in, Lam. Lam. One more. Lam. Good. All right. So we're just going to move through some simple flowing movement now from this sense of grounded, anchoring, mountain pose energy. We're just going to feel the movement through the rest of the body, connecting breath and movement. So empty the breath out. Feel vibration, that groundedness. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up. Maybe you bring your palms to touch, or you can keep them shoulder width apart. And then exhale. I like to take the prayer through. I'm bending my knees so I can fold and hinge at the hips, letting my head go completely. And then inhale, taking my hands to my knees or thighs, take a flat back, breathing open across the chest. And then exhale, we fold back down into this nice forward bend. Coming up, press through the feet. We're going to sweep the arms all the way up. Big breath in. Meet the palms together. Exhale, you can draw that prayer in towards your heart. Also, to just float the arms down by your side. So let's take that 2 more times. Inhale, breathing the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need. Hinge at the hips. Release your head and your neck, bowing down. Inhale, hands to shins, thighs, or knees to lift into this nice flat back. Exhale to melt over your legs once again. Anchor through the feet. Press through the feet as you come up. Big inhalation. Circle the arms up. And again, prayer through the heart, or if it's easier for you, just float the arms down by your side as you breathe out. And we're going to take one more full round. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Breath in, stretching up. Exhale to fold over our legs, hinging at the hips, releasing head, neck, and arms for that nice release through the low back. Inhale, lift halfway into a nice flat back, broad across the collarbones. Exhale, melting the body back down. Anchor through the feet to come all the way up, the legs strong, breathing you up to stand. And then exhale, either prayer to the heart by your side. Good. And then we'll all release our arms by our side, standing once again in that Tadasana mountain pose. Take a breath. So we're going to move through our next phase of the practice, stepping back into some lunges. So I have blocks at the front of my mat. It helps to bring the earth a little bit closer up to you and make it a little easier to get your hands to the ground. You can always use this thick book, stack of books if you'd like. Or again, you modify as you need for your body. So we're going to step back into a lunge. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale, arms up once again, big breath in. Exhale, we're going to fold over our legs. This time I'm taking my hands to the blocks. I'm going to flip mine up on the second highest height, and I'm going to inhale my right leg back. I have this blanket here for my knee, and I'm going to soften my right knee down. As you can see, my knee is behind my hip. Untuck my toes. My front knee is stacked directly over my ankle. So just as we're getting alignment of the chakras, we also want that proper alignment of our body, physical body, so we stay safe in our practice. So here, my right knee is behind my hip, and I have the ability here to kind of sink the hips forward and get a nice stretch through the hips, through the low back, the hip flexor. The second chakra is what connects us to this part of the body. This is the water element, connecting us to a sense of creativity, to healthy expression of our emotions, connecting us to our emotional energy. And the element is water. So again, that idea of flow. So the sound here is Vam. So you can keep your hands right here on the blocks, relax the shoulders. We're going to breathe in. Vam. Vam. Okay, one more, breathing in. Vam. And then we'll curl the back toes. We're going to lift that back knee. And I'm just going to step that right foot forward. I'm going to stay here. Your blocks can always be on the highest height too if you need. And then we're just going to step the left leg back. We're going to take the same thing. My right knee stacked over the ankle. The left knee softens down behind the left hip. Untuck the toes and then just kind of enjoy this nice sinking the hips forward. A nice stretch here. Playing with the sound Vam. Breathing in. Vam. Vam. One more breath. Vam. All right, curl the back toes, lift that left knee, take a breath to step forward, and then we're going to do a fold over our legs. So our feet are, again, about inner hip width apart. Bend your knees as much as you need. Drop your head down, and this time you might grab opposite elbows with your hands and just feel the kind of weight of the head, releasing the neck. Feet are firmly rooted. There's length in the low back. Taking a couple breaths here. Again, you can bend your knees as much as you need. Shake your head out a little yes, a little no if you'd like. And then when we're ready, we're going to come back up to stand. So release your arms. Give a bend in your knees. This time, let's roll up the spine vertebra by vertebra, pressing the feet down, almost like you're pulling the mat slightly apart with your feet. So we're really anchored there. The head and neck will be the last thing to float up like a balloon on a string. And then back in our Tadasana. And so the fun, beautiful thing about working with our sound, or the challenge, is it really forces us to stay connected to our breath, because we're really needing that breath to be in the body and to produce the vibration of sound. So we're going to do a similar thing, step back to a lunge, and then we're going to do a twist and move into that third chakra. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale, sweeping the arms up, big inhalation, exhalation, fold, bend your knees, and bowing forward. Grab your blocks if you need, and we're going to step that right leg back. So optional here, you can keep the back leg lifted. It adds a little bit more of a challenge to the pose, I think, applying a bit more effort. If you're using a block, be mindful. I always try and flip the block to the lowest height so it doesn't wobble and I don't fall off of it. And I'm going to plant that right palm down, and I'm going to take my left hand to my left thigh. What we're going to be doing is twisting our belly and ribs towards that left thigh, and maybe eventually floating the left arm up. The third chakra is the fire element, and the sound is Ram. So we're going to twist that arm up. When we're ready, breathing in. Ram. Two more. Ram. One more. Keep your back leg active if it's lifted. Ram. Good. Release the hand down. Flip that block under your right hand back up if you need, and step to the front of the mat. Take a nice breath here. Let's just fold over our legs for a moment just to release. So that third chakra,
fire that gives us our power, our strength, our purpose, our drive. So very strong center. When you're ready, we're going to inhale, find that length in the spine for a moment, and this time we're stepping the left leg back. Again, your choice, you can keep the knee lifted or lower the knee down. I'm going to use that block but flip it down once. Left palm's going to plant down, right palm I like to come to my thigh. We want to keep the hips square as best you can, and you're going to breathe here, and we'll first start the twist, and then we're going to do that Ram 3 times. So inhale and Ram, Ram, Ram. Feel that twist around the belly, the ribs, the chest, and then you can circle that right arm down. Very mindfully square your shoulders and hips. And one more time, we're going to step our way up to the front of the mat. Take a breath and then enjoy another forward fold. Belly melts towards your thighs, dropping your head. And then root down to the feet, coming all the way up to stand. We're going to take a big breath in. Again, you can sweep your arms up if you'd like. And prayer to the heart or arms by your side. Back into Tadasana. Find your breath. Take a moment, check in. And so now we're going to connect into the heart chakra with just a nice simple shoulder and chest open. And we're going to do it from a standing position. So I'm going to turn towards you for a moment. You can stay wherever you're at on your mat. So what we're going to work to do is bring the arms behind us. Actually, I'm going to turn behind so you can see. Option 1 would be to interlace your fingers here and then see about straightening the elbows and rolling the shoulder blades and towards each other and the shoulder heads back. If that feels a little too intense for your shoulders, you can always just grab opposite elbows behind the back with your hands and you'll get, again, this feeling of across the chest. So I'm going to interlace the fingers and start to reach down through the fist and feel my chest open up here. We want to keep that anchor through the feet, the foundation through the legs, a little curve in the low back so we're not rigid in the hips and pelvis. We want to feel the navel drawing in and a strength through our center, that solar plexus area. And the sound of our heart chakra is Yam. So we're going to breathe in. Yam. 2 more. Yam. Yam. Good. And then we're going to inhale, free the arms up, sweeping them up to the sky. And once again, we're going to exhale into a nice forward fold. Bend your knees. Good. From here, hands to grounds or block, I'm going to step one leg back, and then I'm going to lower my knee, and I'm going to send the other leg back. And then I'm going to bring the big toes together, and the knees are going to separate, and we're going to come into a child's pose. So some of you might, if you have a blanket, want to slide that blanket between your seat and your heels or a pillow if this pose feels a little tough on the knees or hard to get into the shape. So that's one option. You can also have a block or something under your forehead. I do want your forehead to find its way to the mat for a moment, and just take a few deep breaths here. Relaxing the jaw. Good. And then take a moment. We're just going to roll ourselves up. So we're going to sit on our heels. I have that blanket here, which really helps make it more comfortable. I know for some people this can be a lot on the knees. Another option is to sit on some blocks between your heels, or if you just feel like this isn't accessible, then just come to a cross-legged seat how you started. We're just going to sit and do a few little head and neck rolls, just connecting into that neck chakra, which is the throat chakra. We should have mentioned the heart chakra is the element air, so we're getting lighter up through the elements, and we're moving into sort of this subtle ether and subtler vibration of energy. So from here, let's just do some really gentle head and neck rolls. So I'm just kind of going
chin to chest and rolling one ear to one shoulder. And back around to the other. If it's okay, I don't always love doing this, but some of you might, rolling the head all the way back if that doesn't feel too intense for the neck. Or you can just do those little half circles. If you go all the way around, go in the other direction as well. Good, and then you can bring your chin back level. We'll take a breath and we're just going to turn our head looking over the left shoulder. Inhale, center, and then turning and looking over the opposite shoulder. Inhale, center. If you want, you can take your hands, fingertips gently to the throat, or you can do how we started with one hand on either side of the neck. And the sound here is hum. So we'll just sit in this pose and kind of connect to that vibration, breathing in. Hum. 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 Good. And then you can just release your hands down. So from here, we're just going to come to a classic downward facing dog. So hopefully we're feeling a little bit more alive in our bodies. You're going to walk your hands out, spreading your fingers nice and wide, rooting down through the palms. And then I'm going to curl my toes. If you were sitting on your heels, you were going to be mindful as you straighten your legs into down dog, just to go slowly. So I'm lifting my knees up, sending my hips up and back. As you can see, I have a little bend in my knees. That's going to help me keep the spine long. Not so much focusing on straightening the legs, but if instead reaching the heels down towards the mat. Try to roll the shoulders open. So again, we're broad across the collarbones. Again, letting your head be heavy. Your neck is long. Take a couple breaths here. If you need, sigh out the mouth. If you also would like, fluttering the lips. So that throat chakra there is also around through the mouth and the jaw. And just taking one more breath here. And so we're going to roll out to what we call plank pose. It's kind of like a strong, active upward position, upward push-up position. I'm pressing my palms into the mat. You can always lower your knees if this feels a bit too much. Reaching through the legs, shoulders back, collarbones broad, taking a breath. And then I'm going to work to lower all the way to my belly from here. You can do so from this push-up, or recommending lowering your knees, bend your elbows straight back, and then placing your chest down. And then we're all going to lengthen the legs, lower the hips if they're lifted, and just open into a baby cobra. So I'm feeling the tops of the feet down, the hips rooted. So I have that grounded anchoring through the legs, breathing into the belly, feeling this openness across the heart center, drawing the navel in as I exhale. Good. And then from here, we're just going to slide the forearms and elbows forward. So we're propped up into what we call Sphinx pose. So you can see my shoulders are pretty much right over my elbows. My elbows are maybe a half inch or so in front of the shoulders, just to give more space. And then I'm anchoring down like a turtle coming out of the shell, getting long, pulling the chest through, opening up across the front body here. Keeping, again, relaxed through the face and jaw, maybe closing my eyes. And again, we're just going to breathe here. So you see that each pose, we're really kind of using and aligning all of the chakras. Okay, take a couple more breaths. Again, it's almost like you're pulling the earth towards you with your fingertips, just energetically there as you stretch that chest forward. Feel the belly expand into the mat, and then draw that navel back as you exhale. Good. And then we'll press into the palms here gently. Move the elbows out to the side. Make a little pillow, one hand on top of the other, and just rest your forehead down onto your hands.
You can absolutely stay here if this feels better than going back to child's pose, because we're going to contact our forehead to the mat, and that's connecting us to our third eye center. So again, you can stay right here, or if you'd like a little deeper stretch to the back, take your palms under your shoulders, upper chest, and lift to hands and knees, and then come back once again to that child's pose. You can have your knees together, or for a little more space, you can bring the big toes together, knees apart, and we're going to play with the sound Om. That's the third eye chakra center. So you can walk your arms out and gently place your forehead to the mat. If you want to roll your head side to side a little bit, you can. Again, relaxing your jaw. And we're going to take that sound of Om 3 times. Breathing in. Om. Om. And then from there, let's shift up onto our hands and knees. Coming to a nice tabletop position here, shoulders over wrist, hips over knees. And we'll just play with those cat-cow movements again. Breathing in, we drop the belly, lift the tailbone, open the chest. As we exhale, we round chin to chest and really feel that arching through the back. And then just keep going a couple more rounds like that, linking our breath and our movement once again. Good, and then let's take one more down dog. So you can walk your hands a little bit forward, curl your toes. You're just going to lift those hips up again and stretching back, bike pedaling out through the feet. And then we're just going to lower the knees down and we're going to slowly transition onto our back. So we're just going to do a few more poses to kind of close out our practice. So you're just coming to your seat. Again, if you have the blocks or any blankets, you can have those nearby as an option to work with them. And we're basically just going to come to lay on our backs with our knees bent, toes forward, arms by our side. And so we're just going to again do a little bit more flowing movement, just getting again that flexibility and movement through the spine, opening up the again the areas where the chakra centers are located. So pressing into the feet, feeling that strong foundation. You're going to inhale, start to pick your hips up. You're going to lift your chest up towards your chin. Keep your gaze up to the ceiling. And then exhale, try to lower that upper back, mid back, low back. Let your hips land, fall to a natural curve in the low back there. And let's just do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift the hips up, peeling the chest up. And then exhale, slowly lowering down. And we'll just do one more full round like that, breathing in to open up. And then exhale, lowering ourselves back down. And then from here, we'll just take a little twist. So I'm just going to move my hips a little bit over to the left of the mat. And then I'm going to lift my knees up and over to the right. I usually like to put a block or a blanket between the thighs or knees here just for a little bit of stability. Taking my right hand behind the left knee there, I'm going to start to twist open to the left. And maybe my arm opens up, maybe my head and neck even turn to the left. And I'm going to do some nice deep breaths, trying to keep my hips stacked, my knees stacked. Take about 2 to 3 more deep breaths. And then we'll take it to the other side. So gently roll your head back to center, release the legs. Lift the knees up. You can shift your hips up and over to the right as you lift your knees over to the left. Again, you can put a blanket under the knees or between the thighs and knees. And then stacking the stacking the hips and knees as best you can. You're going to start to twist out and opening that right arm, maybe even gazing to the right, and just find some deep breath here. And 2 more breaths. Good. And then you can gently roll your head back through center, remove the block or padding between the legs if you used it, roll to your back, and then from here you're just going to hug your knees into your chest. You can give them a little squeeze in, you can rock a little side to side, you can create some circles with the knees in one direction and then the other direction. Good. And then we're going to come up to sit for a few more bits of our practice. You can either rock and roll up to sit or gently roll to one side and gently press yourself up. I'm going to guide us through a pranayama practice, a breathing practice called alternate nostril breathing. This practice is, again, calming for the nervous system, helps balance the left and right hemisphere of the brain, an overall really wonderful breathing practice to help you feel more centered and balanced. So we're going to start with the left arm in a mudra. You're going to bring your pointer finger and your thumb together, kind of making this A-OK symbol. That's bringing your smaller self with your highest consciousness and a sense of union there. And then making a fist with your right hand, a gentle fist. You're going to lift your pinky finger, your ring finger, and your thumb. So peace fingers are folded down. Basically, we're going to alternate the nostrils with the ring finger and the thumb, blocking one side as we breathe in another, and then closing and breathing out the opposite. You shouldn't be altering the breath. We're just working to alternate the nostrils. So we want to continue to stay with a nice, steady, natural breath. And we'll do a couple rounds. I'll guide you through, and then a couple rounds on your own. And we'll go from there. So you can close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a few just nice natural breaths, just coming into that gentle rhythm. And then we'll all take a nice full breath in the nose and then breathing out. And we're going to lightly block the right nostril with our thumb, breathing in through the left, 2, 3, 4. Block the left with your ring finger and breathe out right, 2, 3, 4. Stay with the right. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Block the right with your thumb and breathe out left, 2, 3, 4. Stay with the left as you inhale, 2, 3, 4. Block the left and breathe out right, 2, 3, 4. Stay with the right. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Block the right with your thumb. Breathe out left. 2, 3, 4. Continue at your own pace, switching only after the inhalation. Taking a few rounds. So you can take one more round. And the next time you exhale out your left nostril, you can release that right hand down. And we'll just sit for one moment, breathing naturally. And you might even soften your inner awareness, your inner gaze to that third eye center, that Ajna chakra that we explored earlier.
And just watch your breath. And then just slowly floating your eyes open. We're going to move our way into Shavasana now. All right, so heading into our final relaxation, Shavasana. All you need to do is lay down and get comfortable. So I like to put a blanket underneath my knees to help support if you have any low back issues. And you can always have a small pillow for your head, but you're just going to lay back. Your legs can be about as wide as the mat, feet relax out to the sides, your palms face up in a low V. You might slide the shoulder blades under the back and tuck the tailbone down. Close your eyes and just take a nice breath in the mouth and out the mouth. Letting go of our rhythmic breathing and just let the breath breathe you. And again, give yourself full permission to relax and absorb the benefits of your practice. I know we all have so much that we can, obsess our mind over or distract us. And anything we need to think about will be there after our practice. But for now, you have the right, you have permission to let go. So you can feel your legs just relax. The color of the root chakra is red, so you can even imagine just a sort of warm red just washing down through the legs, through the feet, letting go. Feeling the weight of the legs as you release all tension. And just relaxing the belly, the hips, the low back. Our second chakra, you can invite a warm orange glow to this part of your body as you let go, as you release. Feeling the weight of the hips, the seat, the back relax. And then letting the ribs and the mid-back let go and just kind of soften into the mat, relaxing this area. The third chakra is like the sun, a beautiful warm golden glow. You can invite that color into the mid part of your body, the ribs, the belly, and just feel a sense of warmth and release in this area, inviting you to let go. And then relaxing right along the sternum, the collarbones, the shoulders and the arms, all the way to the fingers. So this is our heart chakra, and you can invite in and imagine this sort of warm green color like the earth. Our hands, our arms are an extension of our heart, our seat of compassion, of love. And just letting yourself go, relax here, all tension from the shoulders, the back, all the way down to the fingers. And then relaxing the neck and the throat and the jaw, the lips, the teeth, the tongue. You can invite in a beautiful sort of sky blue to this chakra, our throat chakra, relaxing again the throat, the neck, the lips, the teeth, the tongue, the jaw.
Breathing in that sort of bright, beautiful blue. And letting that wash up into the forehead, the eyes, the third eye, the forehead, the back of the head. A lovely indigo color you can imagine sort of washing over this part of your body. Calming the mind, settling the mind. The thoughts can be like clouds in the sky, coming, taking shape and dissolving. As you continue to let your head settle and relax across the eyes, the inner ear, the forehead. Allowing your whole body to let go. Allowing yourself to just vibrate with the beautiful colors of the rainbow. Lam vam ram yam ham om. And you can take a nice full breath in. One more time, just opening the mouth, letting it go. Can gently wiggle the fingers and the toes. Maybe rolling the head gently from side to side. And just slowly welcoming your body back. Any other movement, I like to do a nice stretch through the arms, through the legs. Maybe a big yawn. And then you can gather your knees up, rolling over to the right side, eventually taking this little fetal position here. Couple breaths there. And then when you're ready, pressing that left palm down gently, lift yourself back up. We'll come into that comfortable seated posture for just one more moment here. Sitting on any padding again if you'd like. And coming to this nice grounded seat, anchoring through the sitting bones, growing tall through the spine. Letting a really gentle, subtle smile wash over the face. If you'd like, you can join the palms to prayer at the heart and just take a moment to really thank your body for showing up for your practice, for all of the effort, the breath for guiding us, the mind for, its ability to show up and hopefully stay focused. Deep gratitude for the opportunity to practice, to be in our body today, and hopefully finding that greater sense of balance and harmony, feeling a bit more aligned, and connecting to a sense of peace from our practice. And, may that guide us through the rest of our day. And if we feel ever that we are kind of coming out of balance, know that you can always draw back into your breath, draw back into the sound of your voice, to come back into the anchoring of your practice. So we'll close with that sound of Om, and you can even allow the vibration of the Om to move, to start from that lower root chakra and travel all the way up to the third eye. And as you connect to the end of the Om, it's almost like an N sound. Your tongue can kind of touch the roof of the mouth, and you can kind of invite this resonance up through the crown of the head. That is the 1,000-petaled lotus, 10,000-petaled lotus of that quiet, sacred stillness of our practice. So breathing in together. Take a nice breath in. If you'd like, you can bow your head to your heart, your chin to your chest, just sealing the practice in with gratitude. Thank you all for being here and practicing with me.
Close with namaste, which means I bow to the light that is within you.